so surprised. I'm so surprised. Y'all been in church 2 hours and you're expecting to see heaven out here, and there ain't no heaven. You're still right here on the black man's truth. No, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You've been down on your knees the last 2 hours, haven't you? Begging some God to help you in the hereafter. But the hereafter is right now, brother. The hereafter is here and now.
We a series of amendments and leather African pendants, handguns and incense. Liberation's expensive. Earned by studying love, books and bloods, the crooks and thugs, the capitalist loves. They the enemies of the people because the words written replace where the innocence was. Searching for knowledge to escape what ignorance does. So we earn liberation by rejecting what was.
You got to earn your liberation.
Skip is a genius.
Is he not?
Yeah.
Y'all trying to pay him in compliments now. Okay, let's see if that works.
That's all we got.
I just realized Diallo trolling with his Biggie sweater.
I know. I saw that.
Why would I do that? Hold on. I gotta get something off the shelf here. Give me a second.
Because I was misrepresented.
That man created a whole fictitious argument. He got souvenirs for the argument he created. It's not even real.
I'm just a true hip hop head.
Man.
Yeah, me too.
You see how Jared's analysis breaks down when it comes to Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z, it got to where he was on talent and merit. No machine, no.
That's not what I said. I never said that.
That's what
I never once said that. All I actually said last week is that on Brooklyn's Finest and in general, lyrically, Jay-Z held his own with Biggie. And I think over time, up until, and again, I only claim up until and through the Black Album, Jay-Z's lyricism is undeniable.
You mean Biggie's? You mean Ice-T's lyricism?
Oh my God. Ice-T and that other dude, stop it. Now is Jay-Z above snatching somebody's hook or
Jazzo?
I mean, he did it to Joe Budden. Took the dude's whole track for Pump It Up.
That officially makes him a sucker MC.
I'm not defending his character. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm only defending his lyrical ability. In the same way, I'm not defending Jordan's character when I say he's the GOAT. I'm just saying I'm only talking about his basketball playing ability. That's it. That's all.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
But if Jordan could download other players' moves into his muscle memory and execute them, that would probably be discrediting.
But he did. He learned from the players before him. And
y'all pull up can y'all pull up the WhatsApp? I'll send a video, just a link there. Can one of y'all play that? We're gonna play this Jay-Z voiceover, and we're gonna get, because Jay-Z, you actually said the argument. It kind of segue us into the conversation. I wonder if it's the Killer Mike conversation or all the conversation, but
no, I'll leave it alone, man. I'm not obsessed.
We're gonna fight. No, we're gonna fight.
I don't hear it.
Me neither.
You don't hear
nobody to steal from. This is what Jay-Z sounds like if there's nobody to steal from.
Wait. Oh, that means I can't share from the other. Hold on a second. It opened up in my other Chrome browser, so I got to open it up in the incognito.
Yeah, I'm bad. I got you saying that.
I can't even log in. I can't share it.
Share it, man. Since you
how? Where is it?
It's in the WhatsApp chat.
Jared, I got that showing. Hold on, I gotta stop. Let me get out.
Where'd you put it?
I'll put it in the WhatsApp chat.
Oh, in the
WhatsApp
okay.
chat.
I'll get it from WhatsApp. I don't.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
There we go. There it is. I see it. So, okay, I got it.
Boom. Now you play.
So we just see the production quality of season 2 is going down. So I just want to put that out there.
We gave him the keys, and now he
gave him the keys, and then we start late. It is not starting on time. We can't. We got unsmooth transitions.
I still don't have it.
You don't.
Never mind.
Oh wow. So maybe it's your broken video.
No, it's a link. It's on my Instagram.
I can hear it. You can hear it?
I don't hear it.
No, I hear it.
Because Diallo has his audio going through his headphones and not the speaker, so that's why we can't hear it. Never mind. We need it
through the speaker, but when I said it was put the speaker on, y'all said it was an echo.
No, it's okay, man.
That's not what he's saying, Diallo. He's saying
Jay,
the audio's through your headphones, so you hear it.
Man, listen, man, we got a couple stories to get into.
Okay.
And
you know what? I have to, I told my wife we was coming here today.
mm-hmm.
And I got up this morning and she literally shoved an itinerary in my face. And I'm like, remember when I said, Sundays? And she was like, oh, well, this is just the second time y'all got it on this schedule. So how am I supposed to remember? So I'd like to just change the whole theme of the show. I'd like to go into manosphere content about how these females don't take personal responsibility, how they're not accountable.
They don't listen.
How they're not worthy of high value males.
Listen, I feel like history.
Can we switch over?
Wait, Jared. I feel like history repeating itself. The last time me and you was on the front on this video with a dark-skinned brother who said he was going to change the whole plan. Right, Reggie? Reggie. We planned the debate. He said, "No, you know what? Let's do it on the wing." And I said, "Jared, do you want to do it on the wing?" Jared said, "Sure." And it just went somewhere else. So my trauma tells me I don't want to change it to this man.
These females don't accept accountability, though. I am man not. Yes, I am. I am a man not. I said a week ago.
I'm not gonna.
You gynocentric.
Let that one go.
Okay, you gynocentric. Geechee, you
no, I used to be gynocentric, but I'm switching. I'm just not gonna accept that particular rage bait.
Yeah,
and you're gonna ride out with me, Geechee. You're not treacherous with these females. They don't accept. I stand alone.
All I'm trying to say is
the gynocracy got y'all. You brothers ain't ready for true freedom. I'm gonna go my own way, man. All the brothers in the chat.
Wait, are you trying to say that brother and his scholarship leads to manosphere? Is that what you're saying?
Huh? I ain't gotta say it. You can see it. You know how many weirdo dudes throw that book in my face? I've had that book recommended. Of brothers. Sister, I had so many weird I've never had like a sound grounded, both feet on the ground dude recommended. I've only had weirdos. I don't blame the author. It's not his fault. If weirdos
why you framing it like
shit, it's like Tyler the Creator. Remember? Tyler Creator got a bunch of racist fans. I'm sure he didn't court them racist. So you can't pick your fans.
You're right, man. Okay.
So I used to defend the scholarship and the author until he started publicly and repeatedly lying about me, at which point I had to start doubting the quality of his scholarship that I was giving him the benefit of the doubt for. So I admit at this point, my criticism is not based on a reassessment of the scholarship. It is a reassessment of his public behavior and what that might mean for the methods he put into his scholarship. But that is hilarious that you said that. That is hilarious.
You can't pick your fans. But anyway, y'all going too deep. I'm just angry. I had to re-explain myself, spend all morning, justify not driving out to my mother-in-law.
Well, I had I had
That's
the
all
female
I'm
in my
just
life
venting.
tell me redo the schedule at last minute this morning, and I had to adjust. I just had to adjust, and I feel
What happened? Why'd you have to adjust?
because I fell down on my manosphere training, and I let the female in my life get away with something she clearly should not have been allowed to get away with. And
word.
Yeah,
because you said last week you sent me Geechee a text like, "Yo, I ain't got no problems. Mother's Day, Smother Day, that don't matter. I'll be there." Yeah, but y'all step up and make sure y'all be there because I'm gonna be there. Whatever, man. She came from my rib. I didn't come from hers, so I thought your shit was locked in.
I did too, man. And you know, sometimes that's why.
And after you reminded me of that, I went to my wife and was like, "Yo, Jared's gonna be there, so I'm gonna look weird if I don't be there."
Sometimes we need
Geechee
to
was like, I told
reconnect, man.
Geechee said he don't deal with mothers. He don't deal with single mothers. So he said all his women are childless and at his beck and call. So he didn't have that issue. So as we was working it out during the week, man, I thought I had my stuff locked in like y'all, and I didn't. And
first of all, if everybody else get to speak for their own woman, let me speak for my own woman. You know what I mean? I called my woman this morning and tell my mother Happy Mother's Day. That's, you know, so that's how I'm gonna contribute to this.
That's it, and you're done.
That's it. I'm done.
And she lucky to get that. Man, I aspire to get to y'all level. Okay, we can. I'm just saying.
So
I didn't.
Can I
so
just
now
say
I'm
real
guilt
quick?
tripped all day.
What happened?
Speaking of the manosphere nonsense, just real quick, because, and I just want to salute the comrades on African World Order. The GBG show that I just had the pleasure of being a guest on. Mm-hmm. And I only belatedly saw Diallo was in the chat. I was trying to stay focused and didn't see that Diallo was in the chat. But I will say that I went and I have now watched the Nature Boy documentary that I had not heard about. I couldn't believe I missed this entire thing. Have you all seen this? Because they asked me about it and I watched it just so I could get invited back on their show. And of course, the brother ends up in Atlanta. He goes through Central and South America, creates this. He sells his barbershop in New York. Yeah, go ahead.
For context.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know about this? Your first time hearing of it, or do you know about the stories? Do you know about him?
This is my first time hearing about it. Was on their show.
Damn!
And then I had missed all of it.
Wow.
So here's the thing. So remember now, I moved. I think I was in Costa Rica afterwards. Right.
Oh, here we go, trying to.
I thought I saw you in the documentary. I got in the background over there.
You gonna
listen, man.
You're gonna have to go live on your own. I'm gonna have to get up. Wait, while you explain what you were doing in Costa Rica, let me just. Wow, what you bringing me back?
He brought us back. That's messed up.
He was on Nature Boy Island.
No.
Son.
You said you got there before him.
Oh my God.
Or after him. What was you saying?
Listen, man. Listen, Linda, listen.
I'm listening. Yo, you know when a brother asks you to listen 3 times, he about to lie. Woo! Listen. Let me put y'all sisters up on game. Anytime a brother say listen, that's followed by a lie every time.
We're already 15 minutes in. We will never get to the story. We ain't never gonna get to the story. Or the story.
Okay, let's get to your. I just don't want to be on camera during this.
What I'm saying is, I'm asking Jared, does he know this situation? Because not only are we watching the things involved on social media, but again, Costa Rica is small enough to know, like, if you're an expat there, you're gonna interact with different people there. So there's a lot of people who experience experience whatever he had going on after everything already happened, already knew all the stuff was going on. So when you ask me about have you seen a documentary? I'm like, no, I mean, we watch, like, people watch it on social media because all those people were also on social media. A lot of them actually became famous. I think actually one of them, Diallo, you want to joke? One of them, I think you follow. It's the light-skinned sister with a bunch of freckles, and she sometimes speak radical or whatever. But
yeah, I support the victims. Okay.
But anyway, the point is,
what dates were you in Costa Rica? Give us the dates. What dates were you in Costa Rica?
I went in 2019, in 2019. So 2000, right when COVID happened. The thing,
okay.
That's when he said he was down there. I thought I saw you in the back of the documentary. I'm trying to tell you, you got to watch carefully in the background of the documentary. I swear this, you see Geechee in the background just pass by real quick.
Shirt off, locks just glistening, melanin popping. Take the sip. You're not under oath, Geechee. You're not obligated to say anything from this point forward. You're not obligated to say anything.
That's enough.
Okay, 2019, because of COVID.
Yeah, no.
You went to Costa Rica.
We're gonna finish the story. So anyway, I don't have to watch the documentary to know the stuff that you about to say, but I'm asking you.
I ain't gotta watch it because I live it. I'm looking for my lens cap. Listen.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
How'd you do that?
Go ahead. Who wants to tell the story, Geechee?
Go ahead and tell him, Geechee.
I'm done.
The Geechee file. The Nature Boy file.
Story. Finish your dialogue about when you was on the show with them.
They mentioned it, and we talked about I should, I just volunteered to watch it if they would invite me back on the show to talk about it. Because I had not heard anything about this person. I missed this entire case. I don't know where, I just was like, what is going on? So I just binge watched the other day, the 4-part series. And all jokes aside, I mean, it is in many ways, a lot of the people we end up making fun of and talking about here are just grifting on another end of that continuum. And it is really abusive to take advantage of people's suffering, their spiritual beliefs, and it's just turn it into this kind of violent, ultimately violent grift. And yeah, I was just, and I also admit, I just have to, just be respectful of other people's experiences, but I also admit that my initial reaction was just, I do find it hard to sympathize for sure with people who would be caught up in that and not see the signs and immediately get the hell up out of there or not even be there in the first place. But at the same time, I still don't feel like people like that should be allowed to get away with what they're doing. I will also say that I had an initial reaction to his life imprisonment plus 10 years. As my initial reaction was really, and I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not defending it, I just am saying that was my initial visceral reaction, thinking that he should, that I'm not mad that he got locked up. I'm not mad that people wanted him to get locked up, but I don't know. That was just my initial reaction. But people like that should definitely not,
So I think in that era, I think, and I think Zenzi was saying this, one of the reasons why I was shocked that you didn't hear about it before is because like he was pretty much organized, pretty much manipulating the top type spaces, like the vegan spaces and all the vegan and natural living and the sovereign, and we need our own land and politics and the Farrakhan type. Like he was like funneling all those different like reactionary things into one thing, and people were like literally believing in it. And then when then it's like any other situation, when you get down there, the people and they'll tell you the story. People been having stories. Everybody, they come back, they've been having stories. And they'll tell you like they stayed because it's like everybody got contradictions. So we working through the contradictions, whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, I was just shocked that you didn't. It was intersecting all of it.
I see. Yeah, I admit that over the last several years, I've done a lot to adjust how I engage with social media, and I've never really. I don't. It is usually a very mono-directional. And so I admit that, and then the stupid stuff that I look for, I don't know. It just didn't come up. I just don't remember ever seeing it. I don't remember people talking about it. I don't know.
If you were able to stay out of that sphere, I think you're doing something right on these internet streets.
No, I'm just on a different stupid corner. That's all.
Oh, you still encountered. Well, I was kind of following it from its earliest inception, because there was a guy here in Chicago who was, this guy by the name of King Noble. He eventually went down to Atlanta, where all the freaks end up.
That's where it seems like they do,
yeah. But he went from, spiritual, holy living, vegan diet to literally having his cult followers produce pornography online. And, he was here operating in Chicago, but when, some of his followers were their family members were reaching out saying, hey, our loved one, she's from Canada, Toronto, and she went down to see the spiritual leader and we haven't heard from her. And cats in Chicago would be going to knock on his door. That means somebody call you out like that doing weird shit in Chicago, people will show up at your doorstep. So then he went down to Atlanta and he was running that years ago. And Ghazi not Ghazi. See, I'm mixing up my cult. Where did he land?
Atlanta. Wow. Don't you know Ghazi. Don't do that.
Wow.
Ghazi.
You see how you skip it over that one like that? That's his people over there. So my people, you know what I'm saying? He trying to act like he didn't know who God is.
I never went. I had a homeboy that, what were they calling that plot of land, that plot of desert they were going to farm?
You see how it happened real fast? Flip the head on the head.
What were they calling that? I had a homeboy that signed up for that.
I don't know.
We should have him on here.
I don't know, man. Just
what were they calling that? Word, I called out Ghazi. Let me tell you something. Anyway, this nature boy thing, he just, kind of burned out fast, but I've always kind of tried to call out these cults. The new age cults, the spiritual cults, the secular cults. I've always tried to call out cults. So I was following that nature boy thing from the giddy up. I haven't seen the documentary, but I know some community activists who have, who are professionals in the psychology arena, do some deprogramming of some of his victims. And now there's like young Pharaoh. There's just so many of these guys out here that talk this.
Brother Polite. I mean,
Polite's, well, he's neutralized as well. He claims he's about to get out. Oh, and the king of them all, what's his name? Dr. Malachi York.
Oh, well, he the grandfather of them, but that's the state.
He's the grandfather. So this shit comes, or Yahweh ben Yahweh. Dead Press came out and with a free Dr. York public service announcement.
Yeah, when was that, man? You mentioned that in our chat, and I missed that.
Shared the link.
Please tell me I missed the link. Where's the link on that? You put it in the group chat?
I think so.
I saw it too. Maybe that's why I saw that. But I thought I thought I saw something in passing, but
Dead Prez said free. They were with one of Dr. York, one of his over 120 children.
Oh,
they speculate between he could have as many as 120 offspring from several women below and above the age of consent. And I had a sister. I lost her contact. I went out of town after I was talking to her. I was gonna have her come on and talk about the what's that shit called? The Asar Set Society.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't like the freaky cults. We don't like the cults where they take off their shirts and walk around in loincloths. We don't like those cults, but the cults that, dress up, that dress respectably, the bow tie cults, the traditional African garb cults, y'all be giving passes to some of these cults. As long as you can keep your shirt and your pants on, you can run a cult in the black community for decades and be respectable. But the moment you take your shirt and pants off, all of a sudden, black people all of a sudden aware that, cults might not be the best thing to be operating in our community.
But to me, sometimes it seems like the question is why. When you say y'all seem to like cults, but I think how people end up getting into cults, and I think I learned this recently. I remember having a conversation around or like organization, and you develop structure, and the young people came in. They was like, well, I didn't think I would ever join an organization and think about structure. Like, why would I need to talk about structure? And if people join organizations and they're not clear on a particular structure, like they can be a part of something that would eventually lead to what we define to be a cult. Like, and it can be built around a person or whatever the case would be. So I don't know. I whenever you say we like cults, I wonder behaviorally, how does that show up when people, enter organizations and they're like, we don't even know what certain structures look like or how things are supposed to go or whatever. And so if you grow up all your life thinking like, what's the man who told the people, Jim Jones or any of I think we did the Davidian branch of Davidians, like some of these people in their mind, I don't think they believe they're in cults. I think they learn.
Most cult adherents don't believe they're in cults, but what I've seen consistent around all cults, because like the good doctor said, cults are a spectrum. They, like I said, there's even secular cults. There's high control cults. There's cults that concentrate their people. There's cults that disperse their people. But the one consistent characteristic I see of cult members is they have a distorted and inflated sense of self. If you look at most cults, they tell their followers, we within this group have an understanding or a perspective that is beyond the scope and capacity of everybody else. They tell them you are able to grasp something that your mama, your auntie, your cousins, and them just don't see. And so when you manifest this power, manifest this knowledge, manifest this energy, when you start to do all this fake shit, they're going to attack you. They're going to call you and tell you you're wrong. So if you look at it, most people that are, because I know, Jared, you say you're sympathetic to people that fall to cults. But I think that the one thing that makes most people vulnerable to cults is thinking they are somehow better than everybody else. And people that tend to don't go cults, if you come and tell me, hey, brother, there's some special secret knowledge that the rest of the world don't know, I'm like, nah.
Just to be clear,
I want to know what everybody else knows.
What I was meaning to say is that I'm not sympathetic. That was my point. Like, I was struggling to watch how people could watch what this man is doing and saying and fall for it. Mm-hmm. I was also just trying to say that I feel bad, even though they did fall for it, that they're having their conditions and situations exploited by this hustler. But I was watching. I'm like, I can't. I mean, there's scenes with him turning to some dude, and this was part of the
strawberry, feeding them strawberry.
Yeah, and then he
I
slaps
can't
the
laugh.
dude.
I have to stop.
He slaps the dude, and I'm sitting there thinking, first of all, at the moment somebody's talking about feed me strawberries, I'm like, I'm out. If I'm still there, I'm like, that's it. And then definitely the moment you slap me, what? So that's why I just. But what did make me laugh, though, I have to admit this, though, what did make me laugh is that as soon as I saw the white girl from Canada show up,
I
was like, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what are you doing? You know you're not going to get away with this. You know you're not going to get away with this. I said,
listen, I'm telling y'all. The cult people, man, they have, it's not low because it's not low self-esteem. It's not isolation. It's I'm special and the world doesn't recognize it. I am a special person and the whole rest of the world does not recognize how unique and great and special I am. And then here comes this one charismatic individual that says, I recognize how special you are. Because I don't want secret knowledge. I want knowledge like pedestrian knowledge that everybody, I only want to know shit that is peer-reviewed, verified, factual, encyclopedia, billboard.
Exactly. As soon as somebody's like, you got to come back here behind the curtain to get the secrets, I'm like, no, I'm good.
I don't want to know nothing that nobody else knows. That's the thing.
Wheel that shit out here and we could talk about it. But I'm not going
to spread it. Go tell it on the mountain. That's what. And that's the kind of people that you can get into cults. So some people are very vulnerable, but I think we have it flipped. I think we think these isolated, tender people, low self-esteem people, if you come and tell them there's some great energy, universal, magical force in you, their low self-esteem will be like, no, it's not. Basic biology, organs and soft tissue. That's all that's in here. Go on, carry on. So it's the people who walk around with an inflation. I'm just telling y'all, that's if you really want to try to circumvent someone, just having people grounded. That's what the whole thing. Have people grounded. People tend to be less susceptible, and also I think that my favorite saying is cults don't cultivate, and we should give as much scrutiny to these respectable cults, these mainstream cults, these long-standing cults. We should give as much scrutiny to them because they tend to do more damage over a long period of time than these fly-by-night gurus.
No, I think that's fair. That's fair.
Diallo said grounded people. Your answer, if I ask you grounded in what would be the answer to that?
I don't know, man.
Facts.
That can be grounded in science. Yeah. Verifiable data, something to that effect. Yeah, for sure. I thought you meant what are they grounded in? Because I was
reality, right?
But I thought that I did. I mean, as soon as she showed up, and then they were like, her parents were like, "Hold up, you went where to do what?" And they started. Everybody, the white folks got on the phone, and the jig was up. I was like, shit. It was almost immediate. At least that's how I remember the documentary going. It was like as soon as she showed up smiling, I was like, "Bruh, now." But the thing, what I would have liked for them to have explained a little more, and I don't know if we're going to get to the story where this overlaps, but other than like they interviewed this one Portuguese dude, white dude who shows up, and he was talking about as soon as they had some incident with the police, and he felt threatened. He was like, I was hiding under the bus seat. He was like, I was out the next day. He was like, immediately. All right. But my question though was that that I didn't see explained in the documentary for a movement based so much on melanin. What was being promised to these white folks other than procreating with melanated people, maybe? But well, in other words, I was wondering what was the he
adjusted the teachings. He adjusted because
the white folks that showed up, Geechee, that
afterwards though, right? Like
so at some point they showed up. I don't know. Yeah.
They were all like that.
What I'm trying to ask is like, so again, when the way I saw it on social media, Nature Boy got really big to a point where white people showed up. When you're saying like white people that came to wherever he was at afterwards,
I don't know. What do you mean after? When you're saying after what?
Like, so let's say, for instance, Nature Boy has been trying to do these things for 10 years, and then he starts to get sensation, whatever, viral, whatever, and then year 11, white people start to come into the fold. When you say the white people,
I don't remember it being that long a movement, but it just seemed like after a couple of years, a couple of white folks showed up, and I was just wondering, and I don't remember there being a shift in the basis, or a lot of the basis of the foundation being about Black people and melanin in particular.
He actually did a video addressing that, because many of his followers, when they saw the white people on deck, because he was like Carbon Nation, but carbon has no color. He did a whole video with the white woman perched on his shoulder, explaining how no, seriously, how it's ignorant people who are caught up in this concept of race. And it was never about race, even though he did say it was about Black and melanin. But then he said it's never about race. And he did explain, which is true, white people do have melanin. Yeah, so whatever your concentration of melanin is, whether you have a low or high concentration of melanin, you can activate and engage that.
Right. I just missed where that
broke it all down.
Yeah,
but the real tragedy is he first hit the news. There was a woman, I think she was from New Jersey, a retiree, a woman on a pension who had, some money, some property and resources saved up. She was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. And I think it was pancreatic cancer. And she saw the Carbon Nation videos talking about healing and natural life. And she was seeing these shirtless dudes with 6-packs doing cartwheels on the beach in Costa Rica with locks, dark skin tone, looking beautiful, eating vegan and natural in Costa Rica. And she saw the YouTube videos. And so she actually traveled down there. This ain't funny, Geechee.
No,
she traveled down there.
I ain't talking about that. I think that compliment you try to give me. I see what you was trying to do there. But
I got nothing but compliments for you.
I appreciate that. That's the kindest thing you ever said to me.
But she ended her chemotherapy. She was under radiation and chemotherapy. She began to reach out to Nature Boy, and he was telling her it's the treatment that's killing you. So she ended her chemo and radiation therapy, liquidated all her assets, and went down to Costa Rica with a truckload of money. And the son was trying to contact the authorities, and the authorities told the son, listen, your mother is of sound mind. So, we can't force her or tell her she's of sound mind. And so unless you have her certified, what can we do? So long story short, she went down there for the natural melanated healing and died a horrible, painful death.
Dad, well, they should have put that in the documentary. That would have been perfect for what they were trying to say.
It was that was before the white folks came on deck. It's like you said, you can do all kind of stuff to Black people, especially Black women. You can get away with quite a bit. You got a cult focus on exploiting Black women. You can pretty much go pretty far. So that's when I was listening to some outlets were interviewing the son, and just the pain in his voice, because that level of exploitation. And dude, he took her assets, took her money, and just allowed the cancer to deteriorate and kill her while he was giving her, aloe vera gel and coconut juice for advanced cancer. So yeah, this shit is
as soon as I saw they said he sold his barbershop in New York to start all of this, I was like, that was another one. That was clue red flag.
Did it go into his male prostitute stripping days?
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So now historically, now I'm thinking like, okay, this is possibly how I would have assumed that you would have known about this, because I think I knew about you first, but then Dennis and Jabari and them, like they was like, oh well, we bring this guy in our space, and I was like, him, and not like him in the name, but like he actually has these type of politics, and I don't see these politics in these spaces. But because you was in these spaces, I'm like, oh, like, well, you gotta know, because Nature Boy is just like the younger, organized or whatever version of I'm not saying that Layla Africa was in the same thing, but Dr. Layla Africa, all the medicines, and Dr. Sabi, all these things was happening. He took advantage of all that shit and said, yeah, like we can heal. And so like Diallo was saying, it's many people that like probably died because they went down there so that documentary, I don't know who decided to put it together or whatever, but I do want to, I would love to, not love to see it in that essence, but like how somebody tie all the stuff together, because you watching on social media, you know,
they don't make those kind of connections too tough in the documentary. And again, if his name came up, I'm not saying it never did. I'm just saying I absolutely don't remember that. And then I'm with Dr. Winkler, and he said, "Hold up, Geechee, I ain't into none of that." That's what I'm saying. Like I don't. I'm around when I show up around Dr. Winkler's spot. I don't get any of those vibes, and I don't see any of the Nature Boy types around there. I don't know what that was.
I
say he exploited those people who be there, because that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that that's what's in the space, but the people who listen to Layla Africa, the people who listen to Dr. Sabi, you know, with the CMOS, all those people will be attracted to a Nature Boy. That's all I'm saying.
True. It is an ecosystem, because as Kwame Ture said, a half truth is more dangerous than a full lie. So I can tell you the full lie: our food is contaminated, the soil is contaminated, the water is contaminated. We have these big insidious industries that control our lives. That's all fact. And then I say, and they are driven by demonic forces, or they are reptilian aliens, or they vibrate on the wrong frequency. So I give you legitimate problems, or I acknowledge your legitimate suffering. I give you a warped explanation as to why you're suffering. I can't give you a dialectical historical analysis, because that'll put you to sleep. But then I give you, well, the real true core of all this fucked up shit in the world is supernatural. So therefore, the solution is supernatural. And I am the worldly conduit for this supernatural solution that will come down. And in fact, you don't have to organize in the street. You don't have to dedicate time and resources and intellectual thought energy to this complex, intricate problem. You just get naked on the beach, you know, come lay up, be one of my wives, eat these delicious ripe mangoes. You know, if I wish that was the solution. I'd be out there too with a grass skirt. I wish that was the solution. So it's a great hustle. It's a great hustle. So these people are bottom feeders of oppression.
And then he ended up. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
They take the legitimate suffering of people and turn it into a commodity that they can draw from, or a natural resource that they can draw from.
This is how I want to connect it to one of the points I made about structure and organization. So one of the things that Diallo said, I mean, all the examples he gave, he didn't give the one example of the Black nationalist argument of like land and developing land and whatever. And I wonder if the documentary, because I actually, and if I'm quite honest, I don't know which part of Costa Rica he been in, but he wasn't in no like main areas. But I do know that there was issues where he was literally trying to take land from people, or take land from. So
the documentary, Leah and others have said that there's a YouTube documentary that's much longer about him that
the sister put out.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably,
there's a lot that the one I saw does not get into, and this is one of the, like, so they don't explain how he got the land, why he left, or why he ended up in a little McMansion in Atlanta when he ends up getting arrested and finally put in prison. You know, none of that is made clear. You know, what decisions, you know, what precipitated those decisions. So yeah, it would be interesting to know more about that. And I do hear you, and I get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is an exaggeration of what we do see happening to varying degrees throughout the political spectrum. So Diallo already mentioned the cults we let exist over time that are maybe slightly less overtly egregious in all of this, maybe. And then and then there's again, I think, parallels in even spaces that we want to be around, in terms of how people set themselves up, how they position themselves in fiefdoms and manage those under the guise of organization and activism. So, but at that level of egregiousness, that's where I was struggling to be sympathetic, because I was like, how can you not see? But then you see the people he's targeting too. I mean, a lot of them are well, yeah. So he mines the people that he can get, and then the many that watched what he was doing, because he had a huge social media following, and a lot of people were like, I'm not going down. That looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say majority of the people would tune in for the abuse.
Oh, absolutely.
And entertained by the absurdity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do make that point in the documentary where they show a fight on the beach between two of his wives that he precipitates, and you could see that he's streaming it and all the numbers going up. It's yeah.
But he would also come on and talk about how he would engage in intercourse in front of his children, and his children could touch his genitals, and he would want to teach. He would be on there saying outlandish stuff with his full chest, and people were still platforming him and restreaming and the response video. There was a whole ecosystem around this guy, because it was attention grabbing in the attention economy and the algorithmic society that we live in. And the reality is there are many who precede him that are operating to this day. And the next Nature Boy, the next Ghazi, the next Brother Polite is right around the corner. There's a vacuum. And I think we will only become more resilient if we become a secular, rational community and culture. If we need to embed skepticism in every component of our relationships and behaviors, and because giving a pass to, I'm just saying it, to giving a pass to Christianity, to Islam, to Judaism, the mainstream religion, and the people, there are these cultists who come with the same level of absurdity and baselessness that pick off these people who have been primed, if not groomed or indoctrinated, to accept absurdities as real from birth. Like, oh, why would you believe some man in Costa Rica can heal cancer? A man in Costa Rica can't heal cancer now, but a little homely cult leader in Palestine 2,000 years ago, now he could heal you. If you pray to him, if you pray to his corpse, now that's where the real healing is. So we're just trading off absurdities. So I think that, and to be honest with you, if you read the news properly, the type of abuses that we see Nature Boy commit on the streams happen daily in Christian Muslim communities and households with the same justification. But if a Christian man slaughters his whole family because they didn't bow to his will and let him be the true king and ruler of his household, they'll just say man. They won't say Christian. But if a cult member, or depending on what society you live in, if a Muslim does it, then they lead with that. So absurdity is what every atrocity that I've ever looked at has at its root some type of absurdity, some utter absurdity, eugenics or some other supernatural delusion that feeds into it. So if we really want to help people, it's very easy to get on here and talk about Nature Boy, but it's a little harder to get on here and talk about the Pope.
Man, you couldn't even get permission to do a stream today on Mother's Day from your female. that you're supposed to be in control of, out here talking about all these other failed manosphere types.
And then I try to mobilize my brothers to help me, and y'all just was like, nope, y'all wanted no parts of it.
Listen, don't mobilize your brothers, because if you do that, you're gonna make me feel like Kanye West, how he mobilized his brothers. Also Chappelle, you got Jay-Z, like Jay-Z, like mobilizing brothers. But this is the clip that you gave us about no, you wasn't the clip, it was a picture of something. Can you pull that up? Instagram?
Me?
Yeah, you gave it with it was, I don't know if Chappelle brought Kanye on stage, and
that was a
yeah.
He put it in the private chat.
I put it in the private chat. My bad.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where? I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's in the private chat. The link, the Instagram link in the private chat.
Instagram.
It's your post.
It's your post.
We're gonna do a dress rehearsal next week. This is what I'm gonna say. You gonna do this, then I'm gonna say this, and we gonna do this. Boom. Right here. Ready? Go. Let's
wait. Where did you send it? Because y'all said
in
Instagram.
The private chat.
Here, man. You know what? Don't worry.
Is this
on
working?
Instagram.
Look, this is it right here. I got it right here.
I was about to put we gotta help.
Yes.
We gotta help that man a little bit. Help that man.
And then I said Coons cosplaying conscious.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it says Dave Chappelle brought Ye on stage during his comedy show at the Comedy Store in West Hollywood last night. This was 5 days ago. According to TMZ, Ye received a standing ovation from the crowd, and Dave reportedly joked while bringing him out, "Kanye West has lost more money than I've ever made," end quote.
He loves bringing Nazis on stage.
And talk about how much money they all have.
He loves playing footsies with Nazis. And I hate the status that Dave Chappelle holds amongst Black men in particular, and the mythical status that he holds in the Black community and the culture. So I would hate him less if we really understood where he stood in the culture, society, in our current reality. And he has this myth of, he walked away from $80 million because he's a principled Black man. He never wore a dress, and he went to Africa to rediscover himself. And he keeps it like he's built up this, even though he's done everything in his power to shatter the myth that's been built up around him. But it just seems to stick. Like he's this principled truth teller and speaks truth to power and keeps it real. Like when and where and how. And he's always just been a shield for rich and elite people while being a rich and elite person his damn self. But he hangs out with Dead Prez. He hangs out with Black Star, Most Def. He likes to, accessorize with
Michelle Obama.
No, but she's over there. She's up there with. I put her in the Elon box.
Didn't you point this out to me before? That for all that Chappelle talk about the dress, that he did the same thing in this Robin Hood Men in Tights
unapologetically,
film.
Yes.
So I just, not that it should matter, but I just thought that was funny.
Also, I think it's the people who were the people who are using the propaganda myth or celebration tactics that say Dave Chappelle took the money or didn't take the money or didn't put on a dress. That was only a faction of, that was like the remember the litigious community that tried to sue us a couple times? Like that was a faction that
gotta be more specific.
The African litigious community.
I don't want to get sued them, but
yeah, I don't want to get. I don't.
No, I got other laws.
Well, dude was running for office, in Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah, he ran for, and what I heard on the low was that he was taking Zionist money to upset a more progressive Democrat, and that was the purpose of his campaign. But I don't have any. I really don't know, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But it was consistent with the African litigious community.
But I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to call you scared. You know, I don't talk about irritated bowels anymore because he sent me a cease and desist, and I desisted and deceased.
But
So
I remember that.
who got time for that? It's just a mess. Who got time for mess?
I remember how that myth just grew, and that picture that Jared pulled up is like that crew they don't do well with like research and like they just react. So it's like they were talking about that, and it was like, no, he actually did put on a dress. They're like, yeah, but you know, like then they changed the argument,
and then he went to buck dance for the Saudi prince, the Wahhabist financer of African atrocities. He went and performed, and the Saudi government gave him a list of topics he couldn't talk about. Like he couldn't criticize the state or the royal family. And he was over here on Netflix talking about he's willing to sacrifice his life to talk about transgender, to lie on transgender people. And everybody's like, yeah, they tried to cancel. They tried to cancel him.
Listen,
so he does have a price. He can be silenced if the money is right.
Jared, I want you to go next because you probably do it. But I watched the interview, and I'm gonna play a little bit of him bringing Michelle Obama to Ohio. Michelle Obama and her brother, they got this new podcast, and he bring them to a radio station that they almost lost. The city almost something like I don't know. He
Yeah.
He bought the building the NPR affiliate in Yellow Springs is housed in, and I saw one of his more recent interviews in there, and it was atrocious. But this one I haven't heard about the Michelle Obama joint.
So it's gonna be atrocious. It's gonna go down a little path. So I'm gonna pause that. But what was your response to the not only what Diallo just said, but whenever Diallo put this in the chat?
You're talking about the
Dave Chappelle, just the Dave Chappelle. What
no, I think you know, I admit that at a point in time 20 plus years ago, he had become important to me, and I thought what he was doing was of value. And you know, when we were doing radio in DC, we were following his work very closely and interviewing his mother a couple times, who was dope. And I thought that she represented more of the trajectory he was headed in, and was just wrong. And I just, you know, I just can acknowledge that I didn't see this level of a downfall possible with Dave. So you know, we talked about it in season 1 of EYL when he brought out Elon Musk at a show and chastised people who were booing as being poor, and then his most recent interviews with this NPR affiliate and elsewhere, and even his most recent Netflix stand-up. I mean, he's just doing it. It does feel like there has been some sort of black capitalist meeting. And they've all said we need to retake the narrative around our presence here, and that he and Jay-Z and others were, and then, you know, so to hear what you've said, Diallo, about Dead Prez and Malachi York is really disturbing. Although I was bothered to see that apparently last year they were in a studio doing work with Killer Mike. You know, I've you know, raised some other issues over the last couple of years about where it looked like some of their you know, focus was headed. And it's just unfortunate. That's all. So yeah, that whole era, that whole neo soul, you know, Chappelle, Mos Def, and Dead Prez, and the Block Party, the Fugees, all of that. I thought, you know, I had higher hopes at the time. You know,
it was good shit. And you know, yeah. I think we hear the word sellout bantied about, that it's kind of lost its sting. That you see a legitimate sellout. I've been a fan of Dave Chappelle since he emerged. Like that movie, what's the weed movie? How high? No, what's it called?
Yeah, what is it called?
Samson.
Yeah. No, I love that movie too. I've watched it how many times? But and what's his name? The white boy in there is taking a real right wing.
He's a Nazi.
Comedy.
Everywhere, every time. You turn Dave Chappelle upside down and shaking by the ankles, and a bunch of Nazis fall out of his pocket. Is he the one turning people Nazis? It's like everybody he's associated with is either a Nazi prior to or after they interact with Dave. But Dave Chappelle got money and just sold out. He just sold out. It's such an old school. You would think that the sellouts would be more refined in the 2000s. It's been decades of black people just selling out, get a little money, and they whole shit change. But I mean, if I walked out this room and saw $80 million in my living room, I'd probably be sitting here talking different.
Shit, I'd unplug this mic and camera. I'd quit EYL immediately mid-show. Be like, fuck these motherfuckers. I would just say,
out. The number one, instead of just targeting individual sellouts, we just create a world where wealth is not allowed to concentrate. So some of our great artists,
seriously,
piece of talent, we can stop losing all this good talent. You see how conscious the WNBA was? The WNBA athletes have been some of the most politically engaged athletes. And you see they just got a bump in their salary. You see they just got a bump. Yeah. And I would always say, why are y'all arguing for WNBA to get more instead of arguing for the NBA to get less? Because they were making us
paying attention, because the magical white girl that helped them get this money is not as good as everybody thinks either, by the way, so I've been quietly appreciating that part too. The great white hope that they tried to evolve for the WNBA is not that. So, but yeah, anyway.
So listen, y'all, I've never like, I've heard y'all talk about Dave Chappelle. I've talked about Dave Chappelle, whatever, but I've never like trying to figure out who dude was like really. So when you say sell out, the question I'm asking is like, okay, well, did he sell out? When was he over here? But y'all keep saying, y'all sound like he was, y'all are making it sound like he had a radical something, and then you got surprised because he went somewhere else. And so I started looking, I'm like, okay, and this is why I started looking. So he's at this radio station, and he moved to where his dad was from, right? So his dad is from one place, his mom is another place. His dad in summer he goes up to his dad
in Yellow Springs, yeah, and his mom's from out here in DC, Maryland, yeah.
And so he's struggling with this this space, like he's buying land and he's struggling with Antioch. So people like Antioch College is known to be a radical left college.
And can I just say, it's, with all due respect, it's Antioch. And one reason that I know is because my father and godfather went there and set up a Black Radical Studies grad program there with Bob Rhodes and others. So there's some. So I wonder even if Chappelle's father even came across them at some point,
because he used to teach there.
Yeah, he used to teach there, and my father and his crew went to grad school there and set up this program before moving out to DC, or being run out, depending on which version you hear. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
And so do you know more about the politics of Dave Chappelle, father, who worked at
no, other than just what I've heard Dave and talk about over the years, and he just referred to him as a thinking person and an intellectual. I was more familiar with his mother's politics, which were more Black studies, Pan-African, and then she was even on that project that Patrice Lumumba had set up at one point back in the day. So that's what I was more familiar with. And it was also just, like Diallo was saying, like I saw Chappelle from very early on in his career, all the early stuff, and was just thought of him as a talented Black comic. But then, and I would even remember him on like local DC area, channels and stuff like that. but it was that moment in that late 90s to early 2000s where there was that feeling of a revival, where you had the Dead Prez and the Black Star and the Neo Soul and the Food and all of that. It felt like, and then I thought he got caught up in that, and you had the Black August stuff with Malcolm X grassroots movement that some of them were involved in, and then you started to see his red, black, and green logo, his use of Dead Prez on his show. There were these, the block party that he did, I thought was, for someone in the celebrity space, as progressive as we could expect, and something that I appreciated, so I just thought that, not that he was leading some movement, but that somebody who was positively responding to what was happening in the streets, so to speak.
So he's.
I think we have a misconception. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I think we have a misconception when someone is called a sellout. It's not that you either have to be a radical in the streets bringing down the system, or you're a sellout. The reality is that Dave Chappelle would engage in accurate and sound and positive social commentary. If you go look at his earliest work, he would talk about police brutality in his materials, talk about police brutality, racism, and certain realities in society that he would approach from a comedic lens, but it was very real.
That's my
He
point.
was going in the vein of Richard Pryor, of Dick Gregory, and those type of comics.
My point is the why, Diablo.
But when the money hit, you could see it.
I don't want to talk about it yet.
I'm not talking about you, Geechee. I'm just talking about, you can't. Well, how can you call somebody a sellout who was never radical? Or someone said, "Oh, we didn't know him. We never knew him." Like, everybody was so aware that he was on this trajectory to be sitting on the lap of fascists and Nazis, and to be, cavorting with fascists. You're a sellout because there's a base level of just, I'll just say, decency, of ethics, a base level of standards of being not just a black person, but just being a positive, humane person, having a positive or non-negative impact on the world. Right. And it's very obvious, the more famous and wealthy Dave Chappelle came, the more his trajectory moved from being a social commentary, social critique comedy, to status quo comedy, to anti-woke comedy, to anti-cancel culture comedy. Right. To now pro-Nazi, so openly pro-Nazi and pro-fascist affiliations. And now he's trying to rebrand back, because now all of a sudden he realized that MAGA has embraced him and the right wing has embraced him. And I was like, oh, I can't believe they weaponized my anti-trans material.
Diallo, I think why I asked this question is because Jared has proximity to personally engaging with this person, with this person's mother, right? Because so when I was thinking about sellout or having expectation for them to be something else, in essence, his father was a particular type of person at a particular type of college, and he had a particular type of politics, and Jared, like, as he know, his mother had a particular. So if you, like, for instance, y'all children, people will expect y'all children to be politicized to some type of degree, like, and if your children go away from your politics, they would be selling out, right? Because they was taught one thing, they was raised in one thing, and then they choose to do something else. So that's kind of what I was saying. And I'm asking that because when I was reading it, like, his father is at Antioch. Is that right? Correct?
Antioch.
And he's a professor there. And so listening these different things, again, this is supposed to be a radical college. And Dave Chappelle today is having struggles with them over some land stuff. But in this interview, he has his mother, the mother that Jared is talking about, is in the audience. They had this thing, his mother's there. He done brought Michelle there, and they like inaugurating the space because they finally got the radio thing. And Michelle, Michelle is just there because I don't know why Michelle's there, but Michelle's brother, who's in the middle, I think he just getting his dance in the
All right,
center.
let me just say this real quick, and then you're going to play this clip. Is that what you? All right, let me just say this real quick because I just was talking about this in terms of this new Winnie Mandela documentary that's on Africa Netflix, and where her granddaughters they're not leading the production, but they're leading the narration of the production, and I made the point about my own children, like it became kind of crystal, like my children would be qualified to talk about me as a father and their father and that experience, but they are not qualified, as at least yet, to talk about me politically. And on some level, I think that this is I'm speculating and projecting that this is in part maybe, and I'm projecting based on. Let me be clear. I'm projecting based on my experience as a father and 2-hour radio interviews with Chappelle's mother 10 years ago. But in that, so that's just so people are clear. Put all the salt on this, all the grains of salt. But with that, I am thinking that it is very possible to be raised with a certain sort of vague worldview. And then I could easily see a situation where even if his mother does not fully agree with the politics of her son or the people around her son, that she could easily sit there and participate in her son's success and stardom and would be proud and would, maybe even in her aging, her old age, be less likely to argue with him about why is he associating with this one or that one. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I am saying that I can see how someone's child, despite your best efforts, may not adopt fully, at least at that point in their life, the politics you have at the stage you're at. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, outside of all the speculation, where I do think what the three of us are doing and the rest of us in this expanded audience and community are doing is important, because at the end of the day, analytically, in terms of politics, all of that I just threw out there projecting and speculating is irrelevant. And what is relevant is the stuff that he's saying and doing, and all of that. I just feel like, from the point Diallo was making a minute ago, has just completely fallen off. Yeah.
He's gonna mention something. So I'm gonna let y'all hear it yourself, but he's gonna mention something that will probably be cringe, given that he's gonna make a little statement about the left, and then he's gonna talk about a policy that the college passed because of their radical things that has something to do with actual sexual assault, but he's kind of like brushing it off. So that could be triggering for folks, but here you go.
I should tell you, this place was different because Antioch College was a much stronger force in the town. And your viewers aren't going to know. Antioch College, if you think of the most radical leftist politics, go left of that. and that's what this town was about. There was a policy that Antioch made years ago that everyone used to make fun of, called "Ask Every Step of the Way." This was 30 years before the Me Too movement. That was like if you were getting ready to,
Yeah. We know.
Well, and then he would be like, "Well, may I kiss you, or may I do this, that, or the other?" You would ask,
right?
And man, the whole country was laughing at that policy, and even I was like, because I was living in New York at the time, watching the news, like, "Oh, they're making fun of Yellow Springs," and so I came home for Thanksgiving, and I found out that my father's widow wrote the policy.
Wow.
He was alive at the time, and I asked him, like, "Yo, John, what was that?" And she explained to me the reasons for the policy. And I laugh about it now because it's so much like what Hollywood just went through, all this weird ambiguity. And it's like, how do you teach young adults how murky sexual contracts are? Because if you make them correctly, no one should see you make them.
So I'm gonna stop.
What's his issue with sleeves?
He got swole. He tried suns out, guns out.
I mean, this man been cutting sleeves
Hey.
off of shirts,
Hey.
jeans. I know he got the money to do it.
Back in the day,
But-
boy, when I be in the gym, don't get it twisted. I come outside.
You gonna come with your sleeves, man?
I told my children, don't ever let me get in shape. You never see me with a shirt on again.
So listen. So
I don't know.
a couple things was happening, and I would love to hear y'all respond to that. But again, at the beginning, you can tell that the podcast is Michelle is having her podcast, and her brother is kind of centered that, and he's even making like he's at the center, but he's just there, and he even makes like a weird joke about being famous, and everybody nobody laugh, and then they felt sad for him, and then they laugh. So it's just a weird thing. But it looks like Michelle, whatever she's trying to get out of the situation, he is bringing Michelle Obama to do this thing in the city, to kind of, I guess, get more attention to this place, because they just had a fight with trying to maintain the radio station. He even says, "Oh, this is the first event that we done here," or whatever, and it's an audience of his people in there. And granted, now his dad was at that college, and the policy that he was talking about was like, again, it was around sexual assault and trying to I can't even remember the thing that it was said. So yeah, the policy originated in 1991 after 2 rapes occurred on this tiny campus. Within a single year, students drafted a policy centered on the idea that consent must be verbal and willing for any sexual contact, shifting the question from did someone say no, did someone say yes?
You remember, you're freezing when you whatever you're doing, you're frozen on our screen. We don't see what you're doing.
Oh, whenever I go to another thing?
Yeah, we didn't see what you were trying to show.
Oh.
What I did see is our manifesto hating. Here's the Doc Jab never getting in shape again. Don't worry, I won't. Don't worry. You don't have to worry. I am forever in
He's communicating in hieroglyphs.
I'm fully in the one more layer club. Put on another layer. I want everybody to put on another layer. Don't you worry. But I did used to say it. I used to threaten the family. Don't let it happen. Yeah. There we go. Now we see what you're doing.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
So basically he's having like a land struggle over there with this college, Antioch, and he kind of, I don't know if you heard the snide, but he's kind of like, if you think about the radical left there, left, like he's like talking shit about them, and again, his dad was a professor there, and he said the dad's mom wrote a policy around something.
His widow.
I'm sorry, yeah, the widow. So I'm like, what the fuck is Dave Chappelle into? Like what? Like not only the stuff going against what hit the politics of his mom, and I don't know, I don't really know nothing about his dad, so I don't know if you know anything about his dad. I know
no, I don't. And again, I want to be very clear. I'm projecting and speculating off of 2 interviews with his mother, and maybe 1 or 2 emails in preparation for those. You know, it's not like I'm cool with his mother. We were not hanging out. I wasn't building with the family. It was just off of looking at her work and her career and her involvement in Black studies, and you know, she taught at Bowie State for a while, you know, where my homeboy now teaches. So it's like, you know, like it was just through those overlaps, and then her Pan-African politics, her you know, so it was, you know, and then, but I do remember that he grew up with her and would go and visit his father, as he had said, in summers. So again, I don't know what he was getting. I don't know what his father's politics were. I don't know what he was getting from his father's politics. I don't know if they fully agreed. And I could very easily see, if you're just showing up to visit your father over the summer, you're not necessarily going to sit down and have political treatises necessary. I mean, I don't know. You might just be hanging out. and you're not getting, and then over time, you know, your father dies, he's remarried, you're off having your own career, you're in Hollywood. He's got that white boy was his co-writer, Neil something, for years. That's his partner, his business partner, his writing partner. You know, he's married, and I'm not the one to talk. I'm just pointing this out. You know, he's got his Asian wife. You know, he's doing all of this. You know, he's having this life, and then on top of that, you drop hundreds of now millions of dollars, and you could see it. Yeah, Neil Brennan is somebody just pointed. Thank you. It's somebody, you know, and you could see. I could see it happening in my own life. I'll just where I don't have to speculate. To the extent you are not associated with radical political organizing, to the extent that you are not a viable participant in those movements, it is very easy to start to just slowly, the inertia, the centrifugal force starts to pull you to the outer, you know, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but then he moved to New York. So his mother from DC and his father from there, but he moved to New York at some point because that's where he met his wife, and then they moved back to where his father from. When did he become a comedian? When did he become famous? Did he become famous when he?
I mean, he's been a comedian his whole life, so he's been
around. He was on Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around for decades.
A long time. Yeah.
No, I know that part, but like before you get on Def Comedy Jam, you got to either be living with your mama or living in New York now. Are you an adult?
I think when he started to blow up, he had already, I think, moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
it was part of that whole.
Wasn't he like on the Ed McMahon show Star Search as a teen in the 80s?
I think so, yeah.
He's been in show business since high school.
Yeah, he said his mother started taking him to clubs at 13 to perform.
Right, he's been around and so I first saw him like on the Def Comedy Jam circuit. I mean, he was in the Nutty Professor movie. Like he's been around forever.
And I feel like it just on like local like cable access in this area. I feel like I've just seen him.
Yeah, he used to do the local circuit and like he was on Star Search or something, like one of those.
Something like
the Tonight Show. Like he applied the formula.
And that's sort of my point. So like even if your parents have a certain radical politics, if your life is in entertainment, their impact or influence is only going to be to a certain extent. That's all I'm speculating. But really, I just want to come back to this and emphasize this point. None of this matters. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit about any of this other than performing what we're doing here, some analysis. At the end of the day, what he is saying and doing now publicly is a mess. And his role and his impact in the public sphere today is an absolute mess. I
think Dave Chappelle is very harmful because he has a mythology around him about being a black man of standards, a black man who stood up to the Hollywood machine, a black man who stood up to the effeminization conspiracy to turn a black man effeminized and to degrade manhood, a black man who speaks truth to power and doesn't buckle. And throughout all that, he has hundreds of millions of dollars. So you can be a black man who stands on business and still get paid. And so he is a conduit of a lot of black male youth in particular to lead into right-wing ideology, right-wing politics, right-wing outlook. I think he is subverting and eroding the quality of culture and consciousness for those who fall into that. And it ain't just young black men from our age, our peers on down. And I've engaged this negative influence that he's having, which is why, you know, he shows up on Saturday Night Live, he shows up in mainstream media, and you think this guy is bucking the system as the very system that he's bucking is elevating him. Netflix putting tens of millions of dollars up and promoting him across the globe.
Hollywood nature boy.
So I think he is what I call a vector.
That's diabolical. That's cold-blooded.
He the Hollywood nature boy.
But he did say in that first SNL when Trump first got elected, he said we need to give him a chance. Remember that? He said we need to give Trump a chance.
Something in
and that's why Stephen A. trying to get out in front of him. Stephen A. trying to run out in front of him. Like,
In that same monologue, he said Trump did not get elected to help poor whites. He got elected to help people like me. And he didn't say that in a tone to denounce or dismiss it. And now you see the moves that he's making in his real estate empire and being a phony philanthropist. You see that he's taking full advantage of this as being one of the oligarchs and having that type of concentration of wealth. So I just see the negative impact. You know, the only thing worse than a blatant coon is a coon who cosplays consciousness. That's why I say that's very dangerous, because a lot of people don't see through that, and a lot of people are emulating his point of view, emulating his politics, emulating his stances. And yeah, I could be down for my people and be cool with a Nazi. I could be down with my people and Joe Rogan, who on the air loves using the N-word, hard ER, and he handpicked Joe Rogan to open up for him, a horrible comic.
I think I got a solution.
He had Rogan open up for.
Listen. I got
Joe Rogan in his tour, his most recent, the tour prior to the tour, the tour before the tour, Joe Rogan was his opening act, nationwide tour, and also in Canada. It was Joe Rogan. He handpicked as his opening act. And that's at the same time when he went to a theater to see Planet of the Apes, and it was a lot of black people in the theater to see the movie. And he went online and said, I wasn't just watching Planet of the Apes, I was in Planet of the Apes. And when Joe Rogan was creating his whole anti-woke comedy gang, he was opening and boosted by Joe Rogan.
AI says they co-headlined a tour in 2021, opening for each other, and then did surprise sets, joint appearances in 2022. God,
so listen, EYL, we have the opportunity to get ahead of the news that's going to come. This person, Dave Chappelle, is probably going to run for office, as y'all kind of suggest. And you already know Stephen A. Smith is getting out in front, right? And we can host the first debate between these two, because Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp probably trying, Roland Martin, all these people are vying to get bought by the Democrat Party to run as their candidates soon. Because, you know, listen.
You think Stephen A. is going to run as a Democrat?
Well,
no.
Right, my bad. That's a
but
flip,
first of all, but that
they'll
would be
running against each other.
But this is, right. We're gonna have to nip this in the bud here, though, Ed McCall. We're gonna stop this shit here that Diallo started last week. We're not doing that.
That's how it works, man. That man, we can't get to work.
We have to evaluate. Is it accurate or inaccurate? That's all we do.
No, you're right. That's a blunder. That's my boy. What I'm saying is,
it's gonna be AOC versus Chappelle for the Democratic primary.
We need to get out ahead of that. And
I mean, Chappelle, he lives in rural Ohio. He's not going to be running against a New York party. He's in rural Ohio.
I'm talking about for the big offices. They got Killer Mike. He's going to try to run. One of these people going to run, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a thing. Because they probably learned from the Green Party. You remember how the Green Party said, "Oh, look at Butch," and they just slap Butch up and say, "Hey, Butch," and they put Butch out there. Like, the Democrat probably will try that tactic, and it's gonna be one of them people. One of them people watch.
I don't see that. I don't see that.
You don't see Killer Mike ever running for office, or Dave Chappelle ever.
See, you're throwing up a lot of names. Cutley Mike and Dave Chappelle are in two different arenas. They're in different tax brackets, and they move in different. I can see Cutley Mike. But it's just, here's the thing, though. For people of that certain income level, running for office greatly diminishes their capacity to earn.
They don't believe that, though. Because remember, the white boy game is when you get in there, you get more money, like Kushner and Trump or whatever. So that's
an extremely unique situation. And let me tell all you black
but they don't know that. That's
aspiring politician. If you think you can get into office and move like Trump and Kushner and they don't throw your ass under the
You
jail.
on FAFO.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Black politicians, past, present, and future, do not get into office saying, well, Trump did it. That is not a viable defense. It won't work for you.
Listen, man, but the propaganda got the people, man. That's
No. So this is so Dr. Ball. I disagree. It's going to be Cory Booker running. That's why he married the doppelganger of Rosario Dawson recently. So
people are cold.
I don't think
sassy.
I don't think so. That is closer to what I think of the people that you mentioned. I think that they will be put to play a role in supporting one or another candidate. So I don't think Chappelle would run himself. I don't think Cudley would run himself, but I think that they will definitely be brought on to campaign for one another at some certain point, whether it's Gavin Newsom or Wes Moore or AOC or something like that. And then Stephen A. Smith, I agree. I think he's going to run as a Republican.
And can I say something else about these guys also?
But I would like for us to host the debate. I agree with Geechee on that. Sorry, Diallo, but I would like to agree with Geechee real quick on that and put ourselves out there.
A debate between who though?
Stephen A. Smith and whoever the Democratic nominee will be. If it's
listening to that dude gives me an ear infection, man. I can't. That guy's whack as hell. I don't know how he got famous. Talking about ball chasing. Ball chasing is just not interesting enough to talk about, even if you like watching it. How can you watch somebody talk about something that ain't even worth watching? I don't understand. Now, this is where brothers, I've been asking brothers to help me, and nobody will help me. This shit with ball chasing and ball chasing commentary and ball chasing commentators becoming famous and rich talking about ball chasing. I will never understand this shit.
Listen, man.
I don't understand it.
Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith, I think he went to Winston-Salem State for some reason. But whatever reason he went there, I think he's from there. Something about this guy. And when he comes to Winston-Salem State, the way he act and the way people around him, the way people interact around him acting, ain't a little match. Like he walks around like he owns the shit, and everybody's like, they don't even take this dude serious. And every time I see Stephen A. Smith, that's kind of how I still see him. Even I think there's a clip when he was walking around. They got it the Lakers space, and he was like trying to dap black people up, and they was like, bro, we don't rock with you.
Yeah, but the thing is, running for office, a lot of popularities and status, they don't translate. Like you can be very popular in one arena and whatever skills or whatever circumstances that allow you to be immensely popular in one arena do not translate. So if you're popular in the business sphere and you're an icon of industry, and then you try to get into entertainment or you try to go into politics, or there are a lot of politicians who want to go into entertainment, like the Obama's got that multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix to produce content, and it's all been shitty, and nobody's watching it. Like putting the Obama's name on a media product does not draw the people, but he come up and tell y'all some neoliberal policies and some merit-based opportunities, and people flock to him and pass out in the aisle. So just because Stephen A. Smith can get his jowl talk, and people will listen to him to talk that shit about chasing balls, they're not going to listen to him talk about policy or electoral politics or his hope and vision for the future. Nobody want to hear that. Oh, you're ball for the future. Now you can talk that shit about, he caught the ball and ran it up to the net and dunked it in. Like, so I don't think we have a lot to fear, because they would do damage if they could from some of these people using their popularity, fame, and wealth to jump into the political arena, because they're going to fall on their faces.
Can I two things. One, I think we need to think about some of the stories we want to get to before we wrap today, because this is at some point I do, I'm not in charge, and the female in my house is putting demands on me. And,
She told us. She said we could have you for the morning. Paul.
She said. She said.
Phrasing.
Is she going back on that?
She said from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern. I was officially cleared for. But so the other thing, just real quick, I gotta shamelessly. It's not even shameless. I need to promote this film that I want people to come out and see. Please scan the QR code over there next to the sister's head so you can get all this information about crushing wheelchairs. This incredible film about houselessness, made by the houseless, screening on the East Coast. If you're in Baltimore or DC tomorrow and Tuesday, I'm hosting those screenings. Please come out. But if either way, scan the QR code and find out where other screenings are going to be in the country and how you can even get involved in perhaps hosting one. Please support this film and come out to these DC, Baltimore screenings if you're in the area and at all possible and at all able. Thank you both very much.
Can I ask a genuine question?
Please.
Just out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, terms from homeless to unhoused to houselessness.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to adjust the terminology, the lexicon?
You know what? I don't honestly. I'm not up on that. I've just been following the organizers and the makers of this film on that. But I honestly don't know the history or the politics around that. So I've just been going along with it. But that's again like because of my previous gynocentricity. Like I don't ask questions. People say, you know, we have new pronouns. I'm on board. Females tell me they're running the house. I'm on board. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just out here, you know, unsheltered individuals. Yeah.
So is there like the documentary
it's not a documentary. It's a film. I do mess that up. So I want to be clear. It's an actual film about houselessness made by the houseless.
Mm-hmm.
And in very third cinema, but it's so good though. It's so good though. It's not like I admit I thought I was going to go into it and be like, all right, I'm gonna have to like it because it's but it's gonna be some handheld you know what I mean, like some I don't know. I thought it was gonna be some janky product, you know, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's very well done.
Good.
So
a lot of talent in the streets.
A lot of talent, man, and a lot of people. And then when you see how folks, it's like there are literal parallels between what is done to people here in the streets and what's being done to people in Gaza in the Middle East. Like like from the equipment to the policy to the approach to the attitude, there are all these connections. It is just gross, man. And it's just gross. And then you look at how much wealth is in this country. And then, you know, the idea, like, even if you don't like these people, even if you don't respect these people, the idea that they shouldn't easily have somewhere safe to go home to is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, you know, it's like, and then people are so quick, you know, I'm not going to go into the details, but I was just in this incident the other day and because of the people I was talking to, it just quickly descended into this. Oh, that's because, you know, you know how people are when they rent, they don't care about the property and renters and they just, you know, and I was like, hold up. I grew up right over there around the corner from where we're talking about in the same suburban Section 8. Like, let's not do that. And they try to, oh, no, you know, but I didn't really mean, you know, I didn't. And it's like, but it's so quick to descend into the people are poor because of them. And it's like, you know, there's something wrong with them, the renters, the people, they don't own their home, so therefore they don't care. And it's like, anyway, so it's that kind of thing. So it's good to see something well made that speaks from their perspective. And I admit, I don't historically, my own activism hasn't addressed itself to that particular experience. So it's dope. But yeah, I don't know the definition. I have to get politically educated on the shifting terms.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, I like you said, I played safe till I found out.
I think when you asked that, the answer probably would have been is like, who is the organization that put the film together, and then is it connected to a larger campaign, that's trying to do something.
Yeah, it is, and I would have to let the organizers speak to that, and that's why I'm inviting people to check those QR codes and follow up on the. And Zenzi's point is right on. Like we don't even own anything anyway. It's the mortgage the bank owns.
They don't let
But
black folks own. They just give us this shit on loan.
Exactly. All of the people who are involved in the film are activists themselves. So there's all kinds of the poor magazine is the outlet that is involved, and has been dealing with these issues for a long time. The Poor People's Movement, and others are involved. So there's a variety of efforts happening, and but I would have to defer to them in terms of, I'm not aware if there's any sort of culminating specific project per se, but just a general sort of call to engage more radically on this and other issues,
It's normal.
So yeah, I mean something,
So with that said, there's a couple stories that I guess we think about the works that needs to be done and who and what is a biggest threat. You have Killer Mike's 2 articles that sound like both of them was defending one was defending one point, the other point. Both of them never lead to the conclusion that we probably would go to. You have this new Isaiah Martin person. You have I think these are Diallo's friends at the NOI. There's some white Nation of Islam people. And then
that was wild. That was absolutely
I don't
wild.
understand why that's wild, because when God manifested in the flesh came to give the mission and the mandate to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, it was a white man. Allah manifested and appeared before Elijah Muhammad as a white man. Did he not?
I think there's speculation about that. There's debate as to his particular origins, brother Fard Muhammad. But
let me tell you something.
I like what y'all just did there, because I think we should just flash past this one and not even deal with it. Diallo dealt with it. Well, basically somebody sent us, I don't remember how I got it, and then I sent it around, but this is the Nation of Islam white division. And yeah, like they rocking with the teachers of Muhammad. They identify with their they said, we knew we was a devil, and then I got mad, but then instead of getting mad, I became conscious and aware. And all of them have an interesting little thing that I look at. But yeah, Diallo is referring to the white NOIs that I demanded that one of them do some explaining when I saw the video, because I was shocked, at least.
I have heard of white members historically in the nation, but not. And I remember them being back in the day, but I don't even know what to say. Honestly, I don't even know what to say.
Well, it's not. Yeah. Here's the thing. That's why I don't even call it the Nation of Islam. I call it the Nation of Farrakhan. Because when you have a cult that's centered around a charismatic leader, whatever they say go, even if it contradicts what he said yesterday. If Farrakhan got up tomorrow and was like, oh, I have had another divine revelation, pork is actually scrumptious. All these people who ain't had pork in the last 30, 40 years gonna bum rush the grocery store. So it is not about any divine power. It's not about any sacred teachings. It's all about the ego and outlook of one individual. That's what it is. It is a hierarchical top-down cult. So what had happened was, remember when Elijah Muhammad's son took over the NOI, and he wanted to align the NOI with real Islam. And my air quote finger is going to put in a lot of work today. He wanted to realign, and he wanted to be a formal Sunni Islam. And then the minister came. There was a coup d'etat. and a power struggle where the minister wanted to return to the original teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, where his son W.D. Muhammad. So W.D. Muhammad lost that internal struggle and went and found the American Muslim Mission, which was formal, real Islam that followed the true ways of the Prophet Muhammad, not Elijah Muhammad, and realigned with the teachings of the Holy Quran and the Hadith. And whatchamacallit went back to nappy eyebrows Islam.
It's a nappy eyebrow.
That's what it is.
That man crazy, bro.
I'm not crazy. Oh, I'm crazy for repeating what they said, but the people who said it originally aren't crazy. So Farrakhan took it back to nappy eyebrow Islam.
Okay.
And then the money. In the early 2000s, late 9, remember Farrakhan had his Million Man farce.
The second
one. And he was able to enjoy a level of status and recognition that he had never seen. And he was at that time the pinnacle of black record. Everybody, Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you ought to listen to. You listen to a conscious hip hop and they were playing
Phil Donahue every weekend. Donahue.
Right. And so Farrakhan was like, wow, I went from being this obscure, militant cult leader to now I'm mainstream. I'm Hollywood. He would arrive in towns and get police escorts from the airport. He realigned with W.D. Muhammad in the early 2000s, late 90s. He went back and says yes. And so he liberalized the NOI. Remember, you weren't allowed to enlist in the military? The white man, the white devil military, he lifted that ban. Remember, they were encouraged not to vote or engage in politics. And not only did he allow the cult members to vote, he started endorsing politicians. So he's been on this liberalization, reform, mainstreaming of his cult for many years. So this is the inevitable, because if you want to have some real status and money, you can't have no white exclusive nothing. You got to let the white folks in. You got to let the white folks in if you want it to really take. So to me, this is consistent. This is not a contradiction. He has been mainstreaming and mainlining his movement and his cult for decades now. This is nothing new.
So two things. When Farrakhan was on that rise, he was on Donahue a lot. And Deruba was on Donahue too. And were they ever on Donahue with each other on the episode? I don't.
I've only seen Donahue in like online clips because Khalid Muhammad was on there too.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best appearances. I love that. But I can't claim to be a watcher of Donahue.
Because I feel like, but you like Khalid Muhammad though.
Yes, very much so. I greatly admire Khalid Muhammad. I greatly admire Malcolm X. And I am greatly hurt by how the NOI betrayed both those great men. And then tried to take credit for creating and building up the brothers they tore down.
Yeah.
I think there was an episode of Donahue where Farrakhan was on and Deruba was on, and I want to say like Deruba was seated like more in the crowd side while Farrakhan was on the stage or something like that. But my bad.
I want to find that. If you find that clip before me,
What clip?
Yeah, Jared and Geechee sitting at home eating bonbons, watching Daytime Talk. Remember bonbons? Sexist used to use bonbons against women.
Listen, man.
They was good as hell. I used to eat bonbons before I became vegan, and I would have to eat them in secret. That was a sexist tear down. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so that wasn't a big thing. Did y'all want to get to the Spirit Airlines responses? We have
we taking over.
Or Killer Mike or
I think we have to do let's just go to Spirit, and then we can let Jared get back to the worship and bowing down of Eve.
So, but the thing is, I think
Jared, go eat the apple.
Yeah, I sure was. I was on that pizza and trees diet. Absolutely. Pizza, beer, and trees. It was yeah.
Oh, I was like, you talking about the same trees? Okay, yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, those, you know what those are them trees.
Hey, so look, I saw I think it was a video of all right, this white boy. So I think y'all gonna respond to black people, we should just buy US Airlines, great idea, whatever. And I don't know if that was the response before this white boy, but I saw this thing and I was like, it sounded like the response. I don't know, it just sounded, I don't know that white people are having this conversation, but this is what can y'all hear it? Oh, shit.
No, what are you doing? Unmute it and push play.
I kept trying to do it and it kept doing it. All right, I give up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I got the Diallo play, man. That Diallo shit out.
Jeez. So we're not gonna see it? We don't get to see it?
No, I'm about to send it. I'm about to send it and you can one of y'all play it.
Send it where?
It's on a run sheet already anyway.
But I can't even log into the stand and fight sheet because I'm not logged in. I can only get it. We're so messed up, man. I can only get.
I don't know where there it is. Google Docs.
Diallo needs to be the one.
Okay, I got it. What am I
playing this stuff?
Okay. Where is it? I don't see it.
In the private chat. He just put the link in there.
Oh, I was looking on the fight sheet.
it was
Here it is, coming right up.
Diallo's is finding ways to not find things in multiple places.
Y'all keep saying, "Oh, it's on." Y'all say,
I mean, but pick a place. Pick a place. It's there. Pick one.
Okay, but I didn't see it on the stand and fight sheet. Maybe we should go back to calling it a run sheet because y'all started to put stuff on there. I try to, because now y'all don't be putting stuff. Y'all used to fill up the run sheet, but I hardly see anything on the fight sheet.
Oh shit! Hey.
Is there a video of this thing he's supposed to play or what?
It was.
He want to play this dude right here. Yeah. Tell me when. Say
the whole
action.
Spirit Airlines for 24 hours straight. There's more than 250 million individuals over the age of 18 in the United States. Now, if we took only 20% of them and paid basically the average fare of a Spirit Airlines flight, which is somewhere around $30 to $40, we could buy Spirit Airlines. This is a genius idea. We nationalize Spirit Airlines.
He calls himself a genius.
And then he calls it nationalization?
Mm-hmm.
Let's buy an airline. I should make a demo for this.
Is this where Uncle Luke got the idea from?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I ain't know who posted first. I ain't know. But where
the one Uncle Luke was telling us?
Where's the one with Luke?
I'll find that because you shared that. Okay,
I don't know which one. I don't know.
Is Uncle Luke a sucker MC?
It is good to be reminded that whites are just generally as ignorant as everybody else. It is good to be reminded. To say that we're nationalizing the purchase by having everybody in the country spend $30 on Spirit Airlines is just absolutely stupid.
The state.
But can I say this? If you got 250 million people ready to engage in a coordinated action, and you land them by a defunct airline,
then you are the traitor. Then you the sellout. Exactly.
Get 50 people to do something.
Exactly.
What? Like that's where you land?
Exactly. So everybody put up $30 for Spirit Airline.
That's a preacher tactic, man. That's a preacher tactic.
All right, here's Uncle Luke. Well, we had to find out who stole the idea.
You ask AI which one was first.
He's saying just black people.
We can't hear you because you ain't put it on the thing. You ain't put the thing on the thing.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, because you got to let the audio play through your speaker, not your headphones.
Oh, hold on. Maybe I can find. Where did he get this from? Let's go to Uncle Luke. Sorry, I'll go to Uncle Luke's page. I don't
think
follow
the
Uncle
issue
Luke.
isn't the page. You have to unmute the video and then play it through
The speaker and not your headphones.
your computer, not your headphones.
Okay, all right. Jared, you follow Uncle Luke?
Every day. I check in every morning.
But not for political commentary and economic advice.
No, absolutely. For political. He is my
you
all
want to
things
see him put it on
guru.
the glass.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Phrasing.
This is Uncle Luke's page. It's boring as what? I'm so disappointed.
We don't see it, bro.
Okay,
we don't see what you're looking at. We're just looking at this still shot of Luke.
I'm pulling up the Uncle Luke on his page. But here's the thing. I've never been so disappointed in my life. I go to Uncle Luke's page on Instagram for the first time in my life. And this is what he's talking about?
Pool their money up together.
Can y'all hear that?
And we go back. Period. You know, I'm trying to bring Black Wall Street back to I'm trying to bring Black Wall Street in Congressional District 20 in Hill Lakes, Sunrise, Tamarack, North Lauderdale, Deerfield, Pompano. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what my whole goal is, to bring the money back. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, let's keep it a buck. We don't own nothing. She was like, I said, she thought about it. I'm like, we don't own nothing. You have a train, bright line, get ready to go on the brink of bankruptcy. You have an airline, which is Spirit Airlines, something we're going to talk about within the show today. Get ready. They already shut down.
I wonder if Frederick Douglass was doing this when they gave him that bank when it was failing.
And we own something. We don't own no fucking airline. We don't own no train. What if Black people go pool their money up together and we go buy Spirit Airlines?
It's just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So first of all, as others have pointed out,
what's ridiculous is I don't see I grew up on 2 Live Crew.
Uncle Luke.
I'm disappointed. I'm scrolling his Instagram and I ain't seeing. This is a portrayal. My childhood is just.
What you saying? You trying to say Uncle Luke was a soundtrack? All the weekends you was in Freaknik?
I know when I'm going to Uncle Luke, it's not for bad political advice or bad absurd economic strategy. That's not what I'm going to Uncle Luke for. And I've been scrolled back 3 years on this page and I ain't seen none of them things singing.
That is a
what did y'all do to
warrior for 35 years now. Put some respect on that man's name.
I'm gonna go to Brother Marquise page. This is Ray. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Let's get back to the show.
I mean, but
everything I believe about the world is false.
As others have pointed out, Trump and them are blaming Biden for not letting Spirit absorb JetBlue, which would have just meant the collapse of 2 airlines, given all the policies that they have. And that's sort of the point. So you're saying, and I think both of you pointed this out in our group chat. So you want to buy an airline that just went out of business. And to Two Black's point about the supply chain problem, first of all the stuff is silly, right? So the idea that Black people are going to own one airline, and this is now Black Wall Street and the solution to everything. And then to the supply chain problem, what are you gonna fuel it with? Who's gonna be the passengers?
He got a cousin in Venezuela that he know they we good.
So there it is. So it's just absurd all the way around. And now the white boy, had he understood nationalization, that's the direction we really should be going on. And it shouldn't matter if but
he said nationalization is each of us putting up. He don't know what nationalization is.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
You know what I was going to recommend? I was going to say we need to send Uncle Luke a copy of your book. But now I think we need to send him a subscription to Blacktail magazine. We need Uncle Luke. Return to your roots, Uncle Luke.
Listen.
Return to your subscription. Don't forget where you came from.
I ain't gonna say nothing, but if we gonna send him a book, make sure it's an audio book because I don't really know.
Send him a subscription to Blacktail Magazine. Is Blacktail Magazine still out? We need Uncle. This is He was.
I don't know what Blacktail magazine ever was, so I don't even know what you're talking
Whatever
about.
you send to him,
Well,
make
go
sure it's
into
audio.
incognito and Google it, and then delete.
Open up my incognito.
See, you following modern day Dr. Luke. That's your problem. I'm like, oh yeah, let me go on over to Luke. I don't know,
following
man. I can't-
modern day
I'm sorry.
Dr. Luke.
I've
We
lost-
needed
Uncle Luke.
1990s Luke.
I just don't know. What do I know?
No, that. But apparently, so he's a podcaster now. So he's down here with us.
Everybody, man.
So we should steal his job. If he's doing our shit, let's go do his shit.
Let's go put out a track. Pop
Let's
that
head to
booty,
Miami.
baby. Pop that booty, baby. Pop.
Doodoo Brown.
The EYL Doodoo Brown.
Right. If he can do EYL.
So we're putting a casting call out.
Every young lady.
Every young lady. We put the casting call out.
Right.
Let's go.
We need
Geechee left.
Geechee in enough time. He got to clear up that Costa Rica timeline.
Exactly.
I'm saying, what did y'all do to Luke, man? Respectability politics have to be stopped.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
This is terrible.
What did he say? Every young lady.
Let's get off of here and go celebrate the women in our lives. Let's spend the rest of the day celebrating the women
in celebration.
Mother of Earth who nurtures the newborns.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yes. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. And let's not look in all seriousness, everybody, we cannot let the white man's calendar down. When they tell us to jump, we jump. So they tell us to go celebrate our women, get out there and do what this white man's calendar has told you to do. And what this economic, this capitalist structure, no, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help feed the economy.
And chocolate.
Flowers and chocolate, feed the economy. And then in a couple weeks, we got Father's Day and Juneteenth and 4th of July. Everything, we got to keep the economy going, everybody. So get out here and do this white man's calendar proud and celebrate the women in your life.
Let me see.
Who gave you life.
Wait. So this is what that sounds like. Hey, if y'all gonna celebrate this white man holiday for this one, when just keep that energy for Father's Day when it come by, and then after Father's Day.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, that's what y'all saying. Gotcha.
Oh, no doubt. Keep that same energy. I want my Father's Day. The white man calendar says Father's Day is in June. I want it.
Yeah, speaking of father, let me shout out on this day all the single fathers whose egg donors didn't step up and take care of her responsibility.
All the fathers out there playing the mothers.
This is your day too. And to all you egg donors who don't stand up and take their responsibility, don't just show up today for a photo op. Your kids need you in their lives for real. Let's just say that. Let's put that there.
Oh,
fair enough.
Gosh.
That's how we earn our liberation.
And then we're right, bro. Exactly. Gonna put call these absentee mamas on the carpet. They're just gonna show up on social media with their babies and then hit the streets again.
As soon as they it's like click, and then they put the baby down and they out on the street. They're like,
while the father's there. All his life he having to fight.
They ain't gotta be on the streets anymore. They're just doing TikTok now. They're on TikTok now. On TikTok.
Shout out to the single fathers on this day as well. They don't get enough recognition. And it's not just because they don't really exist as a demographic. They don't get enough recognition, period. Anyway, so can we do the outro, man? I have to go and
are we playing the intro again for the outro? Is that what we're just hitting goodbye?
No, I think I figured the thing out, man. Look, I'm gonna go get some oat milk latte and put on some old Tula Crew records. You know,
and reminisce.
Me so because I can't believe what y'all did to this man.
We exactly. We need to reminisce.
Because I mean,
back to the old school.
If Uncle Luke can lose it, what does that say for us? What hope do we have? Just regular dudes. If Uncle Luke can't hold it down,
listen, Uncle Luke's still Uncle Luke because what he's doing now, instead of at the floor level, he's trying to get some power. And once he gets some power, he's gonna organize a whole sex district somewhere. So that's what he's doing. Like he don't want to be in the sex industry at the bottom no more. He trying to start to have policies around the sex work. That's what the man.
I genuinely didn't know this man took a turn.
Yeah, we got to take our wives to Cheesecake Factory.
Soy cheese.
I gotta take care of the Red Lobster. Y'all don't know that joke. Y'all ain't old enough.
Y'all.
You
got here just in time for Red Lobster to go bankrupt.
Good point.
They coming back. They got a black CEO.
Oh, who is it?
So
Pinky Cole.
Oh, bless her heart. Hey, pray for Pinky Cole, which is equivalent to doing nothing. Y'all pray for Pinky Cole. Okay, man. All right,
all right, fellas. All right, everybody. Thanks.
Oh, let me do it. I'm gonna do the thing right. Watch this.
Yeah.